Hello, Dawn here. Today I'm back with another Halloween card for you. I thought I would make another spooky Halloween background using my Nevermore Halloween paper pack. This card is so quick and easy to make. It took me less than 30 minutes to make it from start to finish. So like I said, I'm using the Whimsy Stamps Nevermore pattern paper. I'm using this one right here, but let me show you a few of the papers. I used so many that I only have a few left. At the end of the video, I will show you some of the cards I've made using this pack of paper and how different all the cards are. I'm going to pair it up with the Humerous stamp set. I wanted to make a more creepier but funny card. I'm going to use these images right here. So let's get started. The first thing I did was cut a piece of white cardstock to 10 by 7 and I scored it at 5 inches, and then I trimmed it down to 5 by 6.5 because the pattern paper is only 6 by 6 and the 7-inch would have just looked too big. You can still put it in a 5 by 7 envelope though. Then I cut a piece of black cardstock to 4 7/8 by 6 1/4 to make a black border, which will also take away from the fact that the pattern paper is only 6 inches. I trimmed the paper down to 4 5/8 by 6 inches. And then I went ahead and stamped and cut out these images with my brother's scan and cut. I did some quick coloring with them. I didn't show the coloring because there really wasn't a lot of things that needed to be colored. I'm going to use the spider and web die, and I cut it from some silver metallic cardstock, and I die cut one of the black spiders as well. Now I can start to assemble the card. I like to die cut words from the middle of my matte background when I remember to. If I'm rushing, I don't always remember, but it's a good way to save on paper because it is so expensive and no one will ever see it, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, then I'm going to adhere it to the white card base. And then I take the pattern paper and I adhere it over the black cardstock. I put very little glue on the web. If you put too much, it will get everywhere. And I just put kind of like small dots in different spots, and then I adhere it to the card. Any of the web that's hanging off of the card, I'll just trim it off with my scissors. And then I put foam tape on the back of the images, and then I'm going to adhere them to the front of the card. I put them so they're facing each other because I want them to look like they're talking to one another. For the sentiment, I'm going to use the comic speech bubbles. I already had some cut out, so I'm going to stamp on it just to use them up. But if it's easier for you, you can stamp the sentiment first and then die cut it out afterwards. I'm going to stamp the sentiment with black ink, and I'm going to stamp it in a couple of times just to make sure it gets a really good impression. I decided I wanted to make the sentiment look kind of old and decrepit like the scenery, so I'm going to ink blend around the edges of it with some of my Distress Oxide Hickory Smoke. And I'm not putting a lot down, just very little bit around the edges. I bring in my Distress Oxide Black Soot, and then I'm going to very lightly go around the edges of that, just covering the hickory smoke a little bit. I think that this looks really cool like that, and it kind of gives it like that old and creepy look. I adhere the spider to the web, and then I put foam tape on the back of the sentiment, and I adhered that to the card. And that's going to complete my card for today. This card was so quick and easy to make, and that's why I love pattern paper. It just makes making cards just so quick and easy. I wanted to share some of my other cards I made with the Nevermore paper pack. I'm sure you've seen them before. Each of these cards used pattern paper, and each of them are so very different. I've made more than this with the same paper pack, but I already gave some of those cards away. I just wanted you to see them all together so that you can actually see the different styles. And just because you're using pattern paper doesn't mean you can't get different looks from each card. And that's pretty much going to complete my card. I hope you enjoyed seeing all the different ones. Okay, I want to thank you for joining me on the Whimsy Stamps YouTube channel. I would love for you to leave a comment below and let me know what you think of the card. Be sure to subscribe to the Whimsy Stamps YouTube channel and their other social media platforms so you don't miss out on any upcoming releases and great inspirational videos. Also, check out their website for all their new releases. And as always, thanks for stopping by and spending your time with me. Have yourself a wonderful day.